Welcome to yet another edition of Nights with Ricky. I'm your host, Ricky Reeves. Tonight, I'm going to talk about, are your friends operating out of the spirit or the flesh? And I'm going to get right into it. You definitely have to watch how your friends operate. Now, operating in the spirit, that means that you are thinking about more than your physical needs and your physical desires, that you're actually operating out of a mindset, that is not only good outcomes for you, but also your fellow man as well. You definitely want to have a lot of those type of friends. Those type of friends, they're very hard to come by. And if you do come across them, you better keep them at all costs and maintain those relationships throughout the end of the time. And these type of relationships, I would say, they're, say if you haven't talked to them in a while or something like that, but you could pick up the phone and y'all pick up where you left off, like if you were talking to them for, just 2 hours or an hour ago or something. That's the type of friend I'm talking about. They're definitely operating out of the spirit because they understand that you have a life and that you have your things that you need to do. And they respect and understand you also have things to do for yourself. If you have friends that are operating out of the flesh, I'll just be honest. People that are operating out of flesh, they're very fun to be around, enjoyable. I mean, they're entertaining as hell, for sure. There ain't no question about that. They always have something funny to say and everything like that. But when they're operating out of the flesh, a lot of things can happen. Some bad outcomes can happen. And you can get in the middle of all that. Let's just say, for example, you have a friend that's operating out of the flesh and they cheating on their woman or their man or whatever. And they want you to get involved and cover for them and lie for them and stuff like that. It's not going to be a good outcome for you or them because now they got you caught up in their bullshit. Also, another thing, when someone's operating out of the flesh, desires got to get fulfilled. And some are some very sick, deviant desires. They got to get fulfilled some way, somehow. And not only if they do anything, there's a saying, if there's a will, there's a way. And if they have any chance to get their desire fulfilled in any type of way, and at your cost as well, they'll do it. And sometimes this could be, say you have a really good friendship with someone and they want to go take it to another level and have sex with you. And you do have sex with them and they get their desire fulfilled. Well, they were operating out of the flesh and that's all they really wanted. Now they done tainted your spirit because you were operating out of the spirit. They done tainted your spirit. Now you're going to start operating out of the flesh. So that won't ever happen again to you. And then you're going to do something to someone that was just like you, innocent and was operating out of the spirit. Two wrongs don't make it right. They just don't make it right. Operating out of the flesh as well, it happens all the time in crime too. That's the flesh. That's like trying to fulfill all your deviant evil deeds. The only time they start operating, those people, the only time a criminal starts operating out of the spirit is when they get caught. Pretty much. When they get caught and arrested, they straighten up real quick. A lot of them. There is some that just say, hell, I'll just take it. This is what comes with it, whatever. It's a very small percentage of them. But trust me, it is a lot of them that try to straighten up when they're behind the walls. It doesn't necessarily mean what they say is the truth about trying to change and stuff like that. They just are in a bind. They're out of a bad situation. So they're operating out of the flesh, mind, body, and soul, period. And people that operate out of flesh, sometimes they'll stoop low and do things that they themselves would probably never, ever do. But when you're not operating out of your spirit and you're operating out of your flesh, that is what's going to happen every time. So my parting words is, look at all your friends that you have right now. Look at all of them. And I want you to do this. Close your eyes and imagine them all standing, back to back, front to back. And just take a good look at them and just skim through and say, who is operating out of the spirit? Who is operating out of the flesh? Who has my best interest just as I have their best interest? And who does not have my best interest like I think they do? Your list of friends will probably be eliminated very quickly. And I'm not saying you have to eliminate the friends that operate out of the flesh. Just you can't be around them all the time. You got to pick and choose the times to be around them. Like perfect settings to be around them. But not every setting they deserve or need to be around you. So take those words and definitely apply them to your everyday life. Until next time on Nights with Ricky. Peace.